Hey everybody, this is Maya Marchelle, your neighborhood-friendly trap evangelist, and you are listening to the Vanguard.
Maya, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate your time. Really appreciate you bringing the energy. We heard Trap on Lock, we heard Breonna Taylor, and we also heard Hey Pretty. What was the inspiration behind bringing those songs in today?
You know, I feel like those songs define me the most. Like,
Okay.
if you've heard of me, you've heard of those songs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And kind of Hey Pretty being an earlier one for you. And I'd love to just kind of get a sense of your origins when it comes to music, because you had before that on Instagram was
Yeah.
kind of like the first kind of step into music.
Yes, you
Produced
did your research.
with your brother.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
L.A.
absolutely.
Buckner, who's like probably one of the most insane drummers I've ever seen in my life. Overall
homie,
artist. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. What was the inspiration behind starting there?
So, you know, I actually used to be a social worker at a middle school, and I was a social worker for several years. And the scholars that I was able to come in contact with and work with, they actually inspired that song.
Really?
Yes.
On Instagram? Or Hey Pretty?
Oh, we're talking about Hey Pretty.
Yeah.
On Instagram, we don't want to talk
Oh.
about how that was how that was inspired. You know what? No, on Instagram was the first song I ever wrote. It was inspired just because I wanted to do something that I never did before. I wanted to write. I knew I had the ability. I knew I was good at like writing short stories or even telling stories and keeping people's attention. But I was like, okay, how does this translate? Like, can I make this into a song or what?
Yeah.
So that was actually like the first legit real song I ever written.
Okay.
Was on Instagram.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So you kind of had your start there, and it is cool to see Hey Pretty. That was a song, but it was also a mantra you were saying to your kids at middle school.
Yep.
And kind of how did that start? You were saying that earlier, but
So I had a girls group, and one of the girls came in really upset one day. It was like 7:45, and I was like, how in the world can you be in 7th grade and be upset at 7:45? However, they actually have like real life things that happen to them on a daily that we as staff and teachers, administrators, we don't know anything about. So she came in and she just had like this energy that was not cool. So I asked her what occurred. She let me know. She let me know she was being called all these unacceptable names first thing in the morning. And so how could she ever study or engage positively when this was her reality at home? And so when she told me that, I was like, okay, well, what could I do? I know I'm not her parent. I'm not at home with her every day,
Right.
but what can I do to make her life a little bit better? And so I decided that we'll start just with your name. How about that? And
Right.
so instead of saying whatever to you when you walk in, hey, pretty, how are you? And we started off every day like that, and it grew to be such a thing where
Right.
girls would look forward to be called pretty.
Right.
And so I was like, wow, okay, maybe they're probably not the only ones. There's probably more girls that feel this way.
Yeah.
So I decided to write a song about
Okay.
it. Once I wrote the song, that's how the book came along, all
Yeah.
of that. So the rest is history.
Yeah, and that's so cool to see kind of a mantra turn into a real mindset that can really impact the youth, which is so awesome to see. So we had this song, and then what was the inspiration behind throwing the book in there? You say you have writing experience. What was it like putting that coloring book together?
So honestly, it was me just challenging myself. Like, I wanted to write a song. Okay, did that. Now let's write something else. Let's write a book. However, I felt like because I got such a good reception from them hearing the words and hearing the affirmations, okay, now it's time for you to read them, for you
Okay.
to see them,
Okay.
for you to visualize
Yeah.
them. And that's
Yep.
how Hey Pretty, the coloring book, came about.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we see that in your music, and now kind of fast forward, we have Trap Evangelist come out. What has the reaction been since February releasing that project?
It's like, you rap? You know how to rap? That's what I've been getting a lot. But Trap Evangelist, it was one of those things too that was always there. It was always inside of me. My grandmother, I feel like she was like an original Trap Evangelist, like back in like the 50s and the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, like really going hard for what she believed in. She believed in Jesus Christ, right?
Right.
And I kind of took some of what she had already planted, her foundation, and I kind of twisted it with like, you know, a millennial twist. And I love God, and I feel like a lot of my work is inspired by what God allows me to experience. And so I was like, man, like this is what's better than this? Trap Evangelist. It's a mixture of the trap, it's a mixture of the church, but all around is culture. And I feel like people, they vibe with it, they appreciate it.
Right. Right. So you have your grandma's love for storytelling that kind of went on to you. You have the love for the trap, Northside Minneapolis.
Absolutely.
You have love for God. What are other pieces that were needed in order to create this project?
I think that those were all the pieces. To be
Okay.
honest with you, that's all I needed.
Okay.
I really felt like this was an assignment of mine, and I felt like if I shared it with too many people, it would have saturated it, or it wouldn't have made it as potent as
Okay.
it was. So I didn't share it too much because
Right.
I didn't want people to get in my head and like, oh, that's not a good idea. You might not want to do that. You might offend people. And
Okay.
I just wanted it to be super authentic. And so that's how we got Trap Evangelist.
So was it kind of kept under wraps for a while then?
A little bit.
Okay,
I don't
okay.
think people expected it. Like
Okay.
with my close friends and my family, and then like my artist community, my friends. Like obviously, I wanted their input because I wanted some of them actually on the records.
Right.
But yeah, for the most part, people, I don't think they expected this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So knowing you had all the pieces to create it, was it like, okay, I'm gonna go into the studio and this is gonna be easy writing process? Did it all come to you, or was it a struggle putting this project together?
If struggle was a person, or if
it was-
struggle was a project,
it was this
it was
project.
this one. Oh, absolutely. I never go into anything thinking it'll be easy
Okay.
because I feel like I don't know, if you have an assignment from God, if you're supposed to do something, there's always going to be attacks. There's always going to be something that tries to throw you off and deter you because they know what you have inside of you is great.
Yeah.
And, not everyone wants to see that happen, right? So it was not easy at all. I wrote several of these songs from that project when I was actually stranded in another country due to the fact that I had COVID. It was crazy. Yeah. So a lot of this project, it became beautiful once it was done, but while I was making it, it was not beautiful at all.
Wait, tell me more about that. Tell me more about that.
Oh, wow.
kind of
You didn't
whole
see the
experience.
news article? Man, I was on the news and everything.
Uh-uh.
So they were trying to get a story about the book, but
Yeah.
I could not get to them because I had COVID. I was in Mexico. I was in Cancun, Mexico.
did
It
not
was the
know.
last day of the trip. I thought I was going to go home. Took the COVID test, and this was in 2020. What are we in? We're in 22. Okay, this was in 2021.
Yeah.
So COVID was still very prevalent.
Right.
I took a test with a couple of my friends. I didn't pass, and so they told me that I had to stay there in another country, like well beyond what I planned, and I could not do anything but create. That's the only thing I had. Like all I had was my mind. I didn't
Yeah.
have any extra tools,
Yeah.
any resources. All I had was myself and my thoughts, my experiences, and Trap Evangelist came from that.
Got it. Okay. So kind of out of a pretty terrible circumstance,
Yeah.
there was great art that came from
Beauty
that.
for ashes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very cool. And so we had Trap Evangelist come out. Let's see. But before that, you had 29, There Will Be Clouds, kind of earlier projects. I would love to know kind of the progression in your artistry and the evolution in your artistry. What came from this project that you couldn't have ever dreamed of with those other ones?
I got the collaboration of a lifetime on this present project, and
the
I feel
last track, right? Amazing. Was it on?
yes. How do you know all this? Like you really did your research.
Yeah,
Wow.
absolutely.
This is great. Okay. So yeah,
Yeah.
aside from all those other projects, those were, I kind of feel like it was me kind of like putting my foot in the water. You know how like if you don't know how to swim, somebody brings you to a pool and you kind of want to test the water first. So that was just me seeing like, okay, is this something that I am capable of? Can I do it? Am I okay when people don't like it? Like, how do I feel? So that was 29. And 29 was super special because that's only on SoundCloud.
Yeah, yeah.
Is it still there? Because
It's
I
still
thought I
there.
erased
It's
it.
still there.
Oh, wow. I thought I
Yeah.
erased that. Those are all songs that I wrote, like,
A lot
and
of
I
singing
didn't,
on it.
yeah, I didn't even know. And, I'm not singing any of those songs. Those are my friends.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those
Got
are all
it,
my
got it,
friends
got it.
because I wasn't even confident
Oh, okay.
in my ability to
Okay.
do anything but right. Right.
Okay.
So that was 29. There Will Be Clouds. I had all my friends sing and we did all this, but I'm like, okay, I can write, but my friends, they kind of getting sick of me calling them, asking them to do stuff, so I might have to do this myself.
Yeah.
So that was just me testing myself,
Yeah.
right?
It's a really vulnerable thing.
It's
to put
very
out.
vulnerable.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah.
really, I actually still might erase that. However,
Okay.
I was told like, no, keep it. We love it. It's so raw.
Yeah.
Might still erase it. So
Okay.
listen while you can.
Yeah.
However, Trap Evangelist, from all of that, there were a few things in between that, but just me really being confident in who God made me to be and what he has given me and gifted me. And then to have like the collaborations that I had, like, I don't know, like that was everything to me. Like, wow, this is really cool. I can really do this. This is it. So
does that make you just put your foot on the gas and just keep going? Or what was like after releasing it? Are you like, I want to make so many more projects? Or are you just kind of still basking in
when you release a project, honestly, you do have certain expectations for it. I won't say that this surpassed my expectations. It did meet them somewhat, but when you release things and people find out things about you, they try to involve you in so much more. So right now I'm trying to like come up for air and like okay, this is it, and then get back into okay, now I got everybody else's input and intake and what they felt and what they want me to do, but let me get back to focusing on what I was supposed to do. So I am actually getting back to making more music. I don't know if that's going to lead to another project. It might, but I'm getting back to doing me, and I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, that's very cool. And yeah, I can tell how excited you were about that project and just the features that were on it. Also wanted to bring up Nakara Forge, that's also on the project, and
Solo
she was in here.
Star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about your relationship with her and kind of how that started?
I love her. That is my very, very good friend. We actually met through. It's very strange. We were supposed to be friends because we both shared a mutual friend who's no longer here. So rest well to Essence Adams, the OG, the GOAT. I choose to be well. Rest in peace, Essence. But that kind of was our connection.
Okay.
And Nakara, formerly known as Solo Star, she's like one of the best rappers in the world to
absolutely.
me.
Yeah.
Like, she's really good. So yeah, that's all. I don't know. I don't have anything else to say about that.
Yeah,
She's just very good.
Has she pushed your artistry forward? And
Absolutely.
How so?
Absolutely. I feel like if you aren't around people that challenge you to be better, then you are not around the right people.
Ones.
Exactly, your ones. You know about that. The ones, the twos, the threes.
I do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, Solo's the one.
That's
when
very
it comes to rap, MCing, hip hop, that's the one. She's the one to me. And just to be able to just observe her and interact and engage and participate with what she has going on has certainly helped mold me as an artist. Yeah.
Very cool, very cool. And just like talking about other inspirations, I do know you have Erykah Badu tattooed on you. Can you tell me about that inspiration?
I mean, that's it. That's the inspiration. Erykah Badu, I grew up listening to her. I grew up listening to a lot, which I would credit to my musical palette. My
musical family too.
Yeah,
right?
my family, my parents, like they listen to everything. Like we could be listening to Anita Baker, and then we switch to Yolanda Adams. We go to Erykah Badu, and then we play Kim Burrell. All of that stuff. Like that was very heavy in my house. I remember the first time I ever felt like I wanted to ever make music is hearing Erykah Badu. I think it was Baduism, the live album. My mom would play that out every time we got in the car. That's what we would hear. And I was like, dang, she's so good. Like, I really love her. And it just turned into this, like, infatuation almost. And I'm just like, she doesn't care. Like, you could say whatever you want about her. She's still going to make the music she wants to make and feel great about it. And that is something that is very admirable about her to me. And I try to bring that into what I do.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. You have her on one side, and then maybe bringing in possibly Kirk Franklin too. And I know you met him, right?
Yeah.
What's the story behind that? How'd you meet him?
I met Kirk Franklin, Uncle Kirk. I met him a few years ago. He was here with Lettucey, and then I just seen him again the other day. He was here with Maverick City. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was really just a trailblazer in gospel music. Just not afraid to involve the culture, and then not afraid to receive the backlash that involving the culture comes with when it comes to like gospel music or Christian music. He's just very great, and I love that. And I take things from him too. Like, oh wow, like you could say that in a gospel song. Oh, period. Let's do it. Yeah.
Yeah. And so you have all those inspirations. You have your music, but I can't stress enough how much of a multi-hyphenate you are when it comes to art in general, whether it's clothing, whether it's what you've done. I think that's maybe in the past with hair, but that's all there. That's all there. And it's super impressive. And just the work you've done in the community as well. It's just is very admirable. And I wanted to say that. And
thank you.
It just, I know, kind of bringing up the Black experience. I know that's very important to you. Could you tell me about that and how that kind of seeps into all of your work?
Yeah. Well, I don't know how else to say this other than I am very black. I cannot hide from it. I cannot escape it. Obviously, you can tell when you look at me. And so I bring that with me everywhere I go. And my focus is to really, I think my purpose is to help black and brown children know that you can be you unapologetically. You do not have to walk into any room and apologizing for being who you are. You do not have to code switch. You don't have to change your vocabulary, your diction, the way that you enunciate and pronounce words. You can do whatever it is you want to do because you're simply great at being you. And that is my philosophy, and that is my realness. That's the black truth. That's what I got.
That's very cool. Yeah. And just mentioning you saying you don't have to change your vocabulary. I also think it's really cool that in your writing too, you challenge kids to enhance their vocabulary,
Absolutely.
throwing in kind of words that they might question, but then they'll learn.
Absolutely, John. I am a logophile. Okay, that means I am a lover of words.
Yeah.
That was instilled in me. Like, so it's like music. So in my family, there's music, and in my family, there's education.
Yeah.
And then what better combination than to put the education into the music so you have no choice but to listen and to learn.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's so cool to see. And just
Absolutely.
continuing to learn, continuing to teach, continuing to make music. Is there anything else on your radar? Is there anything you haven't ventured in that you'd maybe want to in the future? I know you've done so much.
I want to go into production and like making like
so music or like movies?
Movies. I mean, music too. Well, I'm not really a producer when it comes to music. I let like the experts handle that because I don't like to mess stuff up. And Ableton, Pro Tools, Logic, Fruity Loops, none of that. I wasn't blessed with that.
Yeah.
However, I can write. I can direct. I can tell people what needs to be done. You should be here. This what you blah, blah, blah. So yeah, production as far as like television films, I have not delved into that yet, but I feel like that's on the way.
Yeah, that's very cool. And you've had some cool visuals that have come out, and I'm sure you've had kind of a hand in that
Absolutely.
too. So
yes, sir.
See that come in the future. That could be very cool. I would love to see that.
I hope so.
Yeah. Any like TV show, movie ideas in mind, or is it just
I'm not gonna lie to you. I watch Stars a lot, so I pay for cable, and I'm not ashamed to say that because I know a lot of people be like, why you pay so much for that? Okay, you can have a Fire Stick, all of that. I have that before too. However, I pay for cable for a specific reason. I like to watch TV.
Mm-hmm.
I like to watch like shows that have a lot of drama, that have a lot of action, because those things are thought provoking and they provoke ideas. They provoke ideas for songs, themes of projects, books, whatever.
Yeah.
So I love TV, and I really love Stars.
Okay.
On I don't know if it's HBO, whatever it is, but I love Stars.
Yeah.
I love what 50 Cent is doing. I love all of the Power seasons. Let me tell you, I love Issa Rae. Like Issa Rae, I feel like that's a dream, like to be able to work and like do something with her, Lee Daniels, like all these, like Lena Waithe, all of these people, like they're on my bucket list. Like I have something. My life is literally a movie, and so I know I have something that I can contribute, even if it's like a scene, a line, anything. Like that's my dream.
Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. And Insecure, what a amazing
Insecure,
show.
her new show though.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know I didn't know that.
OMG, you gotta her new show is crazy. It's incredible. It's very inspiring.
Okay. Is there one kind of at the pinnacle at the top that has your either number one for inspiration or just number one favorite show of all time?
Oh, my number one favorite show of all time? I don't know. Like Moesha, because Brandy was in it and I love Brandy.
Yeah.
That's difficult. But I feel like, for like back in the day, like Moesha for sure. Other than that, it has to be like the Power series, because it's just so believable in like the acting, everything, like the style, the music, like they have everything that I want to do is in that right there.
Right. And that's so cool that, again, you can grab inspiration for that 100%.
For sure.
I appreciate you taking that kind of TV tangent with me real quick. And then I just wanted to end off, are there any words of wisdom you'd like to kind of end today off with?
Am I wise? I don't know. How about this?
Absolutely. Everybody has something to offer.
Okay. There's a quote that has stuck with me since I was about 13 years old. I learned this in the vocabulary program that I was a part of that I still teach today, right? So shout out to Divine Institute. But if a task is begun, never leave it till it's done. Be the labor great or small. Do it well or not at all.
Wow.
That's it.
Wise words. No, thank
Wise
you
words,
very
hey.
much for being here today.
Thank
if
you
there's
for
anything
having
I missed or anything you wanted to add, please feel free. But again, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. This is so dope. Everything. I love it. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah.